it both on 10? Are they all the way up?
Yeah, they both should be up there.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right.
Blooper reel. That's how I put it in record.
FYC the show. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Just Heck, aka Neo, here with
Reapercusion.
All right. Today is a special episode. Producers coming in front of the camera today. I wanted to kind of give you guys some insight on the stars of the show. So today we're gonna talk to at Reapercusion. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Heck? How you been,
All
man?
right, chilling, brother. What's going on?
Everything's just great, you know.
All right.
Constant gaming, anime, movies,
Good.
comics.
All right.
I just found out a bunch of new stuff with some comics that I didn't even know.
Okay.
Like they revamped Venom story, revamped Carnage story. So that's good to see. I mean, that's something new for me to catch up on.
Okay. You know why they did that, right?
Yeah, a lot of this stuff.
It's got a lot of background stuff going on,
Yeah,
a lot of money stuff.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of issues going through, but
Marvel said, "Oh, you want to take back stuff? Okay, we got you. We got your story now."
But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff for me to catch up on. Co-host Vinny Bronco gave me a bunch of animes to catch up on. Got to do that.
Of course, as always.
It's a lot of anime I got to catch up on.
Shout out at Vinny Bronco.
You already know.
Off camera, doing his thing. Co-producing today.
Okay.
So, I want to go all the way back to the beginning, but not too much to the beginning. So, what was your first system? And with that, what was your first system first?
First system had to have been the Nintendo. The NES.
Blow the cartridge out?
You had to lift up.
Yeah.
You had 2 buttons.
Reset?
Start or reset. That's it. There was nothing else.
Okay. All right. What was your favorite game for that system?
I had to have been Contra. I was hooked on Contra when I first got it, and it was one of my favorites.
Can I get some off-camera cheat codes? What's the off-camera cheat code? Up, left, down, up,
down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Is that correct, Vinny Bronco?
Sounds correct to me.
What was that? 30 lives, right? 30 lives?
99 lives.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's something that has stood. I mean, it's in a lot of games now as bogus cheats or, just Easter eggs. And it's cool because that was one of the big games back then.
Yeah.
Especially for me. And on top of that, it was also, you had Double Dragon, which was great.
That girl always got punched in the stomach, bro. 80s was a rough time.
80s was real. 80s was straight up. That's it. You learned your lesson.
Yeah. Don't be caught outside the auto shop without Billy or what was the other one's name?
Oh man. He's like the lost brother.
Yeah, right. Never knew I always forget what the other one. Billy. No, I think it was Billy Lee and something else.
I can't remember.
Whatever. Anonymous Lee.
We can leave it like that.
All right.
But Nintendo was my first system.
Okay. What was your favorite system now? And it could be, it's whatever. But what was like your favorite system of all time?
Oh wow. I never got to own the Dreamcast, so I can't. I hear a lot good from it.
Yeah.
I never got to own it. But for me, from what I've owned, I would have to say, other than the gens now, it would have been the Nintendo 64. It was just, I don't know.
Was it Zelda?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. That was everybody's.
It was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
That was a game changer.
But it was, it changed from the side scrolling to almost full 3D, where at the time it was as realistic as you can get, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And that pretty much paved the way to what we have now.
Very true.
And it was a big game changer. And I mean, the controllers were a little weird, but I mean, Nintendo's they always stood out from the competition.
Definitely.
And that's what made them who they are. But it's one system that I occasionally go back to.
Okay. Emulators, or do you still have?
No, I have the system.
Wow.
I have my Super Nintendo.
Wow.
I have my Sega Genesis with the 32X and the CD.
Wow, the attachment.
Yeah, all of them. And
That was
you go back to it, it looked like a baby computer. It was like, what are you doing? I'm just putting up my Sega
Right.
Genesis together.
No.
It was like a transformer back then.
Because you know back then everything was 16-bit, or Genesis was 16-bit.
Yes,
and
Genesis
then
was
that was
16,
the adapter.
the 32-bit,
So it was,
and
it
then
made
they had
it,
the CD, which
Uh-huh.
was
Yeah.
that was like a whole.
It was like basically adding memory to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I still got that.
Mm-hmm.
I got my PlayStation 2. I know my PlayStation 1 is somewhere.
Okay.
I still got my director's cut to Resident Evil 1.
Wow.
The double.
Yeah.
The double disc.
Yeah.
That was.
I remember that. Yeah.
Those were the games where you go through and there's like a lot of people like, oh, you got that? Which one you got? Oh, you got the double disc? Oh, yeah, he's a collector.
That's
He's
a
one of those
fact.
guys.
So you said Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So
other than the new gens out here,
Yep.
I mean that's because those are gonna be top line.
Oh no, I mean,
But I'm talking about like
favorites. Yeah.
going back where,
Yeah.
like I said, I still go back and I play the 64 every now and then.
No, definitely.
Whether it's Conker's Bad Fur Day or
Yeah.
some Mario Kart, Diddy Racing,
PlayStation 1 was
whatever it
is my favorite, just because of the Final Fantasy and
PlayStation, the Final Fantasy, yeah, PlayStation.
You know, that was my
when-
favorite.
It's funny though because you say that I had growing up, my family wasn't wealthy, so it was a choice because I had a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
So it was either get the PlayStation, no games,
And just wait
and
it out.
wait, or get the Sega Saturn where I had a couple of games and I had an extra controller.
Got you.
So me being the kind-hearted person that I am, I was like, you know what, I'll fall back. I can get that another time.
Okay.
This one right here will help me. At the same time, my cousin had a PlayStation already.
Okay, no.
So it was like I could go down there if we wanted to play a game. That's why we first played Resident Evil. We played Tekken, you know, and we had the Dreamcast. So it was pretty much for me and him. It's like we had both systems.
Got you.
You know, because if I was
So you didn't own the Dreamcast, but your cousin did.
yeah.
Got you.
So it was like pretty much we both owned the system because we were at each other's house every day. You know how it was back then.
Yeah, of course.
You could check. Oh, your cousin is right there. Go. But make sure you're home before the lights go.
There you go.
Which
So-
it was pretty cool.
Let me ask you this question. So now, what are your favorite type of video games to play? Because you like the Contra shooting. So are shooters your favorite, or was that? Well, actually, that was like your favorite game for Nintendo.
Yeah.
So are shooters your favorite now, or has your taste sort of evolved?
Nah,
from that
it's
point?
my everything for me. Like it's.
So you gotta pick one though. Just one.
No,
Yeah.
it's rare that I go and I be like, oh, I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like this game. You know, if I say I don't like it, there's a real reason behind it.
Right.
But I love more story-driven games, like
Okay. Like role playing games.
yeah, like you know whether it's Skyrim, Elder Scrolls,
That's a big
or
one, man.
That's
a big one. Shout out to at Vinny Bronco for that one, because I thought that game was whack when I first saw it, and then when I remember him playing it at his house, and I see him with a bow and arrow, and I'm like, what kind of game are you playing? Like,
nah, that
like,
game.
what is it? Yeah, no,
That game did a lot because
yeah.
that actually is one of my favorite
Mhm.
PlayStation games. I owned that game 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
and I never did the main story in that game. So for me to finish that
You
game,
just walking
I
around.
had to really be like, I have to
Yeah.
get this over with
Yeah.
so I can.
So is Skyrim your favorite RPG of like all time, or is it like?
I mean, I still go back to. I even thought about getting it on the Switch, and I was like, you know what? This will be the 4th time Bethesda gets my money for the same damn game. I can't do it, but I'm still speculating on getting it.
Alright,
But you know,
alright.
games like that,
Mhm.
Witcher,
Witcher's a good one,
the
too.
new Tomb Raider games, a lot of the games like
Yeah, they brought back
I just
Tomb Raider
started
in a big way too.
playing Darksiders. I got
Okay.
1, 2, and 3, but I played them but never finished any one of them.
Is Darksiders really an RPG though? I kind of feel like it's like just an action story with RPG elements.
Yeah,
but it's like
it's more like that.
Yeah.
But each game plays different.
yes, totally.
So like the first game would feel like Zelda,
smack everything up.
more like
yeah.
a Zelda game, and then
Yeah.
the second one is more like a Prince of Persia type, and then so that was great because you know it never felt like the same game,
Right.
but it's still the same game.
Yeah.
You know, it was always the same story. Everything followed what was supposed to go, but each gameplay, you never played the same horseman as the last one. It was always okay. This horseman is different. What can he bring to it?
Right.
And it was great.
So the first one was war, right?
Yeah, the first one was
second
war.
one was death.
And
the
this
third
one is wrath. So they changed two of the horsemen because I mean, you got one that's decay and the other
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so those, you know, is one is decay and the other one is I forgot what it was. So they changed them.
Okay.
Because I mean, their powers would be, I guess I understand their powers would be a little lame.
Okay.
Where it comes down to like, okay, he's fighting people. I mean, he could really walk up to them and touch them, and they're gonna decay. They're gonna rot and die. And I was like, that's like playing a game on God mode.
So then, what is your favorite RPG of all time? If you had to name one. If it's too tough and you got two that are tied for first, we'll take that too. What would be your favorite of all time?
Oh man, I mean it definitely is between Final Fantasy VII, which I loved and I still own the 3 disc.
Right. Yeah.
And Skyrim.
Okay.
Those two are like, to me, I can always go back. I even though I have the 3 disc, I even bought it on my PlayStation 3, and I can't wait for the remake on it, which I'm gonna get, whether it comes out full copy or in parts.
All right, dope.
Either way, and I probably, if they do come out with a collection where it's a full set, I probably get it too, even though I have the other sets, and that one could just sit there, collect dust, and look nice and neat.
Yeah, mine was Chrono Trigger. I love Chrono Trigger. I like, and then it's like after that would be Xenogears, and then 6, and then 7, Final Fantasy 6, and then Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
And then I don't know what's the 5th one, but those are like, I can play Chrono Trigger now. Like, I actually was like,
I've heard a lot.
I like
tapped
into an emulator
because
on
they
the computer.
I believe they're remaking them on the Nintendo Switch. So it gives me.
I'm not buying it for the Switch. I have the whole library on a hard drive legally, and and I got emulators, so I'll just tap in every once in a while. I just plug the joystick into the computer and load it up, and we're good to go. Yeah,
that's cool.
I like the classic look. I know some of them. I know sometimes it's cool when they high def it and everything, but I personally like the old graphics. It's just something about the moment that game held in my life at that time.
The same thing that I felt with the remake for Resident Evil 2.
Right.
It was a great game. I loved it. I still play it.
Yeah.
But what made the game scary? I mean, they upped the horror in it with the way they changed it around. But a lot of it was back then the camera angles.
Yes, of course.
You didn't know what was around the corner. You can hear, but you don't know what's around the corner. You gotta walk up like 3 feet.
But then the dude just jump at you.
Yeah, and then by the time you walk up 3 feet and the camera changes, you got the guy in your face, and it's like, okay, now I'm caught, and I gotta back up and re-strategize. Yeah. But it was. That's why I understand where you get with the whole the classic looks a lot better. Because it was something that will always be there.
Yeah, definitely. So, if you had to pick a system that you was disappointed in, all right, if you was just like you got it, you was hyped, and then when you played it, you was just like and you was just not impressed with the library. Just overall, you was just like, it just didn't do it. I wasted money. Which one would it be?
For me, it would be a tie between two. One was the Vita, due to the library aspect, where they didn't have a lot of games. They didn't focus on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A lot of the focus on that was the remote play, and it was just like you had a lot you can do. Like, wow, you guys really bombed on this.
Holla at Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, definitely.
He took it and ran with it.
The other one for me would have to be the Nintendo Wii, but it was more for the fact that it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But the games they were putting out were
They weren't really.
Yeah, they weren't matching the aspect of what they wanted with the system.
Yeah. They have a couple of down low classics though on it.
No, definitely.
I forget they made one for the Switch. It was like a part 2 to it. And then Vinny, what game? The game that you lent me, that it was part 2. You know what I'm talking about. Part 1 was amazing. And I'm sorry, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. If you remember, just shout it out. But part 1 was on the Wii, and I played that. And what the funny part was, it was my daughter's Wii, so like I would have to, like when she went out with her mom or whatever, I would like sneak in and be like, okay, let me rock this out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was a dope game.
Like I said, like I said earlier, the Wii was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But a lot of the games they put out weren't.
Totally.
It was like, okay, I expected more from this game, and it was like, wow, it was
maybe not enough adult content for you. What's up? Xenoblade. Yes, Xenoblade.
Chronicles.
Yes, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes.
That game was amazing.
Yes.
It probably didn't belong on the Wii. If you compare it to a lot of their other games, it was
definitely not.
It was. I thought it should have been on the PS3.
I guess you could say the reason why it was to get more people to get it.
Totally.
But it's one of those games that was like, okay, I think you're, like you said, I think you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong line of
like,
work.
Why are you here?
Like, you're supposed to be
on
this side.
Seriously.
But no, that was one.
I had to buy my daughter a 3DS so she could not play.
So you can get it.
Yeah, it's like, here, go play this 3DS. It's brand new and pink. She's okay, Daddy. we both in the room. She's on the 3DS and I'm on the floor. Like, yo, forget about it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was. So it was, for me, it's a tie between those two. It was because, a lot of it was the lackluster of them actually going through with it.
If you had the power to change one thing about the industry, the game industry, what would it be?
It would have to be two. I guess it would be two, but one of them would probably be the major big thing now.
Just one thing.
Loot boxes, man.
Yeah. Okay.
The loot boxes, it's back then you bought a game, everything came with it. You earned it. I remember playing GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, grinding out to get these guns,
golden
to get
guns,
these,
yeah.
And it was like I earned it. When you got it, it was like, we'll put. Now we playing with my Rumble Pack, man. Why? Just watch. And people looked at it. It was like, oh, he put in hours. He got the golden guns.
Yeah.
Nah. Now it's like, you can. I can have the game for months or even years. You get the game and you cough up $300 and you got everything there. And it's like, wow. And then it's like, okay, people will be like, oh, he's great. He got all the guns.
But you didn't earn it.
He spent $300 for these guns.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's something that it doesn't show people that you're a gamer. It just shows, I got money.
Yeah. True.
And I think that's, I understand the business wise, which is, I 100% understand it. But as a gamer, like, I can go now and get on Uncharted and I still got the guns that I earned. And I know how to use all the guns.
Totally.
Where you got people who go and they be like, I'm going to spend $20, I want this gun. And it's like, yeah, you got the gun, but how good are you with it?
Right.
Which, to me is a big thing because you can have all the fancy cars, but if you're not that good at it, what's the point of flossing?
Right. Without a doubt.
You go down the street and it's like, oh yeah, I got a Lamborghini. Can you drive? No, I don't have a license. Right. So why you got the car?
Right,
that's how I look at it.
Very true. So, with this show, what is something that you hope to accomplish with this show? For you, just for you, for the Reapercusion brand. So to speak.
Me personally, it's
because right now, I'm be honest with you, you're doing some things on social media. You're like most retweeted right now for FYC. You get a lot of likes every time we put stuff up on your behalf. I mean, you got like 3 weird followers on Tumblr that we can't. I don't even want to talk about on camera, but we'll talk off camera about it. It's weird. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. Yes. But yeah.
I don't have.
But no, I'm just saying that. But there's a following.
I got social media, but the social media for me was always. I got family all around the world.
Okay.
You know, my cousin, he was in.
Shout out to Hulkbuster in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, my cousin, he was a Marine, and he was in Dubai. He was constantly all around the world. So for me to get in contact with him, it was Facebook.
Okay.
So that's what Facebook for me was for.
Right.
You know, get in contact with my family in Florida.
Definitely.
Family in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I got family in Europe. And then my cousin who was constantly traveling with, you know, his 3 kids and his wife.
Okay.
So that was the only way I got to see him. He was my little brother. Me and him did everything together. We played baseball, whatever it was.
Right.
You could catch us in a blizzard tossing a hardball.
Okay.
And you know, people that's who we were. We grew up together. So for me to not have the contact, I made the social media for it. Right. So I'm not big on social media.
Right.
You know, and then starting here, doing the show, getting into the games, everybody said, "Oh, there's, put the social media, put everything out there." I was like, okay, it's a tough change for me. I don't put up a lot that more normal people do. Right. Or I don't like to say the word self-centered people. Okay. But, for people who are out there who are doing new things, it's great. And it's a big change for me, but I do it. Okay. I just want, for me, personally, it's not even something for me. It's more like for the general who love games. Okay. Or love movies. Like, this is somebody who games, this is what he does. And if you want to see the content, you can see the content. This is where you can check it out. It's nothing like, oh, I want to be a big star. If it happens, it happens. Let life take its toll. But if not, it's like, I'm not going to go and sit in the corner and pout. I got my life. It's just entertainment for those who don't have a way to escape. Or maybe somebody wants to get a game, but they're like, I don't know if the game is good. And they be like, oh, you know what? This guy put it up. He got it. Let me see what he thinks or what the game looks like. And they could go and be like, oh, you know what? I'm getting in the game. And they be like, oh, why? Go to a bunch of friends, be like, oh, I thought you wasn't going to get the game. Nah, well, this dude, Reapercusion, put up the game, and that shit look dope, man. I was like, wow, and the way he reviewed it, and it was awesome. So I got it. It was like, oh, okay, if you got it, then maybe I got to get it. I got to check it out. Can I see the video? Because, if you get the game, you're not going to, like, I just got the game. Oh, so you can't lend it to me? No, I just got the game. I didn't even get to play it, But, it's if it happens, it happens. If I go big or whatever, if I get endorsed or anything, I'm not going to forget where I started, Right. It was with FYC, and the show started with, you, Josek, and Vinny Bronco, and it's not going to change. I've always been a down-to-earth person, and, when I was down, you guys helped me out, so it's, for me, like I said, it's nothing that I want personally. If it happens, it happens. All
right, ladies, swipe right if you see him on Tinder. So two more questions.
Okay.
So, date, marry, slide off. Okay? Date, marry, slide off. Because I don't want to do the other one because it's Me Too era. I don't want to get us canceled. Date, marry, slide off. She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Black Widow. Let's go. You got 30 seconds. Gotta be quick. I don't want you going into deep thought about it. So date, marry, slide off.
Now we talking
date, marry, slide off. Date, marry, slide off. Date, marry, slide off. That's what it is.
I would date She-Hulk.
Date She-Hulk. You like him green. Okay.
Marry Black Widow.
Turn a spy into a housewife. Okay.
Nah, she could always have my back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I don't ever have to wear. I know I don't have to sleep with my eyes closed. With my eye open.
Well, you might mess up and
That's why I got She-Hulk. That's something She-Hulk.
Okay. So and Captain Marvel's the slide off.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Captain Marvel's one that She's always out protecting the galaxy when she does come through.
Oh, got you. I like the logic. I like the logic.
You can't always, I'm a data, but she's like 1,000 miles away,
I like the logic.
2 million
Like this, like,
it's like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but that's why we're not together.
Okay, no doubt. Okay, all right. So, last question. Who is at Reapercusion? Who is at Reapercusion? Who is he? How do you define him as you? How do you want the public to perceive you? Who are you?
Reapercusion is, he's the gamer.
Okay.
You know, me being me, I'm an everyday person. Reapercusion is like a persona. He's a superhero. He's a gamer. He reads comics. He's that nerd. Like, you put on a cape made of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his shirts are all weird. You know, you look at them and it's always something different.
Gotcha.
It'll be comic book related. It'll be wrestling related.
Yeah.
It'll always be something. You know, you'll tie into it. Be like, oh, he actually watched that. Oh, he's into that. Well, he's the person that you look at like, nah, that dude doesn't. And then you look at his shirt and it's like, okay, he really. Wow, I did not. He does not look like that person.
Okay.
He's not that type of person. But yeah, I've been gaming since I was 2 years old.
Very awesome.
You know, first system was like I said, the Nintendo. I went through that. Had the Super Nintendo. Had the Sega Genesis. Went through all that. So I've been gaming my entire life.
Awesome.
So, you know, from there ran into a lot of the RPGs and then the JRPGs where I got into anime and manga.
Awesome.
And then throughout that, I had my father he had comic books. He collected them. I read them.
Okay. Awesome.
And I still have.
Got a library?
I got 3 filing cabinets.
Wow.
4 high.
Wow.
Comics.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
we gotta check that out one day. Any last shout outs you want to put out there? Final words.
Big shout outs to everybody at FYC. You know, Sports Act for bringing me into the clan. I didn't think the clan was gonna be this big. I actually thought the clan was gonna stay as something small, just games. Shout out to Hulkbuster for always coming through. Also, shout out at Dino Machino. He's joined a lot and he comments. He's always watching the show.
I see him.
So he's another big one that's, you know, he's right there with us.
Definitely.
Definitely shout out to Vinny Bronco and you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, without you guys, this would just be a plan in a box somewhere in an attic, you know. So without everybody making the effort from everybody's behalf, you know, whether it's where we game at or what we do, you know, we are who we are. FYC.
All right. Well, with that said, you know, this brings us to a close. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank my man at Reapercusion for all the work he's been putting in for us. And this is FYC the show.
Reapercusion.
Just Heck signing off. This show's brought